Ladies and gentlemen, today, I guess you could call it a Thanksgiving special because I'm going to go over what I've been reviewing in the news and links that most people would never follow, channels that most people would never follow, and videos that are as long as 50 minutes describing what's really going on behind the scenes, including this thing that they call the Great Reset. So, for those of you out there that think for some strange reason things are going to get better and that the Philippines is going to open up and the tourist industry is going to reset itself during this great reset, what you should understand is that none of that is going to happen. In fact, as I predicted last March, things are going to get worse. It's never going to get better. I'm not a harbinger of some sort of sinister understanding. I'm just telling you what's been going on behind the scenes since the 1880s. When they started doing proper consensus and surveys of how many people were on the planet in the 1880s, they were within plus or minus 10% of their projected population up until present day. So, in other words, in the 1880s, they predicted X amount of people were going to be living on the flat Earth because the Earth is flat. And because water seeks its own level, and those are properties that are constant throughout the universe. So, in the 1880s, they predicted how many people would be living in 1970. And when you look at their 1880 predictions, they had correct numbers, plus or minus 10% for most of the countries that they predicted the present population would be in any given year. Now, how is that possible? Well, there's two ways it would be possible. If someone could travel back from the future and then just read statistics of the past, the 1880s, they could know all the correct numbers. However, that's not what happened at all. So, what did happen, in fact, is that for a period of time that predates the building of the Great Pyramid, there has been an advanced civilization, either of humans or of an alien origin, that have controlled what we call Earth. They have done so with an exacting regularity. They don't make mistakes and they make long term plans. In my opinion, their long term plan is now coming to fruition, probably for the 1000th time in the history of the flat Earth, because I don't believe a single word of what's written in the history books that the Earth is X amount of years old and that mankind has been on this planet or flat Earth for X amount of years. I believe that the existence with airplanes and helicopters and aircraft carriers and nuclear submarines has existed multiple times over the last billions of years. Now, there are so many inconsistencies with history. One of them would be that prove my point. One of them would be that the most powerful and influential book in the history of the known flat Earth is the Bible. And yet the Bible is based on stories that go back 50,000 years back into the colony of Atlantis and even before that. The elite, the people that rule this world, they are not the people that rule the world. They are just the faces of the people that rule the world. Trump does not rule America. So, digressing back to the Vatican and how religion has lied to you. it's lied to you that supposedly if you could, and people do this, go back chronologically back to Adam and Eve, which is a totally fabricated story. The earth would be 6,000 years old, roughly 6,000 years old. Yet, historians or so-called philosophers of truth that run our universities and our education in the United States, historically, their viewpoint is that the earth is millions of years old. And yet somehow these two concepts never conflict with one another. They have so-called intelligentsia, or the philosophers or the teachers of universities, that say the earth is billions of years old, but they're still Christian or Muslim or Jewish. See, these people know the truth, but they've been indoctrinated to the point where now they make a living with a cushy job and $100,000 or $200,000 a year to lie to people that Henry Kissinger, properly, by the way, called the useless eaters, the people with no cognitive ability or no rationalization of the truth. Those are the useless eaters, people that have been brainwashed from birth that to believe that things are the way the politicians project them to be. But it's not like that. It never was like that. Now, recently, the great Scott Del Fuego, the wordsmith, welcome Dennis Adams. Welcome, my friend Dennis. I saw that big shout out. Now you're going to be trolled by trolls. Your troll count just went up into the double digits, my friend. Listen, Bachelor, look, I don't really know who you are. I don't talk to you on Skype or in real life. I see your comments, but keep it clean, and you're not going to interfere with my train of thought. And although you're not trying to interfere with my train of thought, you got to understand that I am on here because I want to be on here and because I can. And if you want to put all those thoughts out, I suggest you start your own channel and do so. And you can even post your links on my page. But you are one of the people that you agree with me, but you serve no purpose other than to agree with me. I don't see you putting up links or posting things of any truth or value. I don't see you putting your face on video. I don't see you talking about the truth on your channel in your house. So you're welcome to post whatever you like, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time reading your comments. In fact, post what you like, and when you build up a channel, or you just get whatever it takes to get on live stream on YouTube, and you do these kind of shows, then I'll post your links on my page. So if I went to your page, just to digress back to people that aren't trolls, but aren't really helpful for what my agenda is, to tell people the truth. And Bachelor is a perfect example. So, and I'm not putting him down, but Bachelor comes on here and posts all this stuff, which is true. But Bachelor doesn't have a channel that posts anything, because Bachelor is either afraid to do so or doesn't have the confidence in himself to do so. But if I went to Bachelor's page right now, would I see Michael Fazio, Hoodwinked by an Angel, as a featured channel? Would I see a playlist for Michael Fazio's videos? I don't know. I don't know. Well, no, YouTube deleted you before because you did stupid shit. So anyway, would I see Michael Fazio on anything? So your ideas, although they're truth, you don't know how to put them on YouTube, so you got deleted. However, I know that I would never see anything. So you want to keep posting on there, just keep posting, make it clean, put truthful stuff up there, but stop interfering with my train of thought. Or stop making me believe that I should have to take the time to read your comments. Who are you, Bachelor? What's your face look like? What does your house look like? Where do you live? What's your telephone number? Until you provide things like that for me, I don't pay much attention to you, other than the fact that I made an example out of people on YouTube that are useless eaters, according to Henry Kissinger. Digressing back to the Bible and my train of thought. You people think that the world is a certain way because you have been trained to believe such. It's not like that. Now, how could I make everybody understand instantly how to understand how the world actually exists in reality? Well, for that, would it be possible? Not with words, but if you were to experience what I described to Scott Del Fuego last week, this state of consciousness called Christ consciousness or cosmic consciousness, or what they call Buddha consciousness, or the Samadhi, S-A-M-A-D-I, Samadhi experience, or basically enlightenment, even for just a few moments, then I wouldn't have to explain any of this stuff to anyone. You would also, if you could experience that state of consciousness, understand that we live not so much in a matrix, but we live in a much more vast, expanded universe. And you would be put in a state of awe at that understanding. And you'd look at the people of what we call Earth, which is really flat, pretty much whilst you were in that state itself, you would say, wow, how did I miss all this stupidity going on? So one of the things, to digress back to the Bible again, is that the Bible teaches you some bullshit story that the world is 6,000 years old, that Jesus Christ was the Son of God. But if you really did a lot of research like I did, and I believed that at the time, you would understand that Jesus had the same abilities of what is called enlightenment as thousands and thousands of other people have had. Jesus was not the first person in history to be able to do the miracles that he did. He was not, and never did say, the Son of God, that he was the Son of God. Jesus was just an enlightened being. Now, I gave you the name of the book that you could read by, the name of the book is Cosmic Consciousness. I posted the link in my last live stream. That the author is R.M., that'd be Roger Mike Buck, B-U-C-K. R.M. Buck, and you'll come to a link on Amazon that will sell you the book for $1. You can listen to the book on audio for free. So that would be the only way I could prove to you what I say is true. By you entering into a state of enlightenment, would be instant proof that what I said, you'd say, oh my, that's it. That Fazio was right. Of course you would, because you would have the same base of knowledge as Jesus or Buddha or any other of the enlightened philosophers. Now, digressing back to the Bible once again. The Bible, what I call Bibble, B-I-B-B-L-E, Bibble bullshit in my book, which this fellow bachelor has not bothered to buy or reference in anything he's done, and the rest of you too, which is why I'm going to stick to my original program, that if you're my friend through Patreon or personal friend, I'll acknowledge the comments. If you're a member of my Patreon community especially, I'll acknowledge that you're here. Other than that, I'm going to continue with my dissertation on the truth. The Bible is a storybook that has been rewritten, and more specifically in the year 1325, it was revised completely by a Mason who also had special powers like Jesus, in that he received this information and the Bible stories themselves by a higher authority, but not God. See, this energy, this field of energy that's always controlled the earth or the world or the flat earth, it has sustenance to people that are in touch with it. Now, it doesn't necessarily always align itself with our concepts of good and evil. However, it does exist. Again, I can only show you that what I'm saying is the truth by you moving into a state of enlightenment. Or there is another way. Some people that have a near-death experience, for the brevity of time, just before the near-death experience, during the near-death experience, and whilst in a state of near-death or death itself, they come into this enlightened state of consciousness, and then they realize that there is so much more to the universe and what we see around us than we see. This is exactly what the elite, the people that rule this planet, the world, the flat earth, this is exactly what they don't want people to understand, and why they have put fluoride in the water, why they are allowing radiation to leak from tens of thousands of different places all throughout the earth, reducing the sperm count, but also reducing the brain's ability to have reasoning capabilities, and why they lie to you every day, day in and day out. Everybody is now coming to the understanding that the news media is lying to you, but no one is really doing anything about it. Now, that's a fact. And one of the biggest facts is that now, with this Trump Operation Warp Speed, if you were truly interested, if this guy Batchelor or anybody else was interested in Warp Speed and what it meant, and you did the research that I've done on this so-called savior to the race, the human race, you would come to the understanding that it's everything but that. Now, the best example of that would be how Obama, well, we mentioned Obama, and Mr. Obama appears. Mr. Obama appears. Obama was going to have Fukushima under control in 2 weeks. Does that sound familiar? Didn't Trump say that he'd have this so-called epidemic virus under control in just a few weeks? And then he announced Operation Warp Speed on exactly the day of Friday the 13th, which if any of you geniuses out there looked it up, you would see where it dates back to. The total annihilation, almost total annihilation of the Knights Templar. And that is a very powerful Illuminati and or Masonic number. But you people don't get any of that. All you can do is see what's on the front page of the headlines. You have no cognitive ability. You can't focus on reading an article for an hour. You can't focus on listening to a 25-minute live stream from somebody that actually knows what they're talking about in regards to the Great Reset, for instance. I could post 10 video links about the Great Reset. I could post 10 video links showing you that Prince Charles of Wales spoke about the Great Reset in German, but it's posted in words on the screen in English. I could show you the video link for Justin Trudeau saying the same thing, identical words, as if they read from the same book. Trudeau saying that the Great Reset is the exact thing we need to move into the changing and re-education of the people, but more specifically to eliminate and help poverty. Well, you don't get what they're really saying. They're not talking about eliminating poverty. What they're talking about in reality, and if you read what the Great Reset meant, what they're talking about in reality is not to reduce poverty, but is to destroy the middle class income so everybody has the same low income, like Brazil. Brazil is Brazil is the sixth richest country on the flat earth or the world, and yet there are two classes of people only in Brazil: the very rich, who have the best of everything, and the very poor, who drink from puddles. Their children don't bathe, they have no education. That is the goal of the Great Reset, not to help the poor people of America. They're allowing, and Trump is part of this, and Obama, you could get one example after the other. Obama and Trump, I predict that Trump's vaccination program will be more powerful than Fukushima and Nagasaki combined in its total death toll. That's my prediction within the next 10 years. Now, have I ever been wrong about politics? I can't name any specific instance that I've been wrong, even though I think about it often. I told you this was coming. I put up video after video after video about Obama. I put up hundreds of videos of how Fukushima radiation was not being monitored worldwide or across the flat earth. I put up dozens of videos where Obama, Mr. Obama, turned off the radiological detectors on all universities, all public buildings, all battleships, all aircraft carrier, and all military submarines, ships, and airplanes. Obama demanded that all the radiological detectors be shut off, and then announced that he cured the radiation because there's no longer a high radiation reading. Now, you tell that to the 1,700 people at 9 years ago that had a lawsuit against the United States government for radiation poisoning. Do you know that the captain of the USS Ronald Reagan told the aircraft and all people in charge of radiological detection to shut off the radiometers, the readers for the radiation, and then told people to go out and scrub down the deck, and then brought fresh water to the people of Fukushima when the radiation was the highest of any radiation reading. It was the highest when the USS Ronald Reagan pulled into the shore. And the captain of the USS Ronald Reagan knew that the radiation was well beyond acceptable limits. And still, he deployed thousands of people to the deck to bring water to Fukushima, knowing that they were being poisoned by radiation. That's your United States military. That's your President Obama. That's what they do. And Obama knew all about this. What about, as I've said before, I lived in South Florida when they were putting the stories and the lies regarding the Gulf oil spill are just phenomenal. The Coast Guard said that they displaced 2 million 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 gallons of core exit. I bet you there's not a single person on here with all your comments. I bet you there's not a single person on here that without Googling core exit knows how it works and what it does, except a few of my close friends, perhaps. And I'm not going to describe it. But you people, because Henry Kissinger called you the useless eaters, you won't look it up. And you won't make a video about it because you're afraid to tell the truth. Well, right now, the truth is in your face. What Obama did with Fukushima by shutting off the radiological detectors, and what the Obama did by allowing the United States Coast Guard and Navy to say that they only sprayed 2 million gallons over the course of 60 days, 42 days, 70 days, whatever it was, we don't know, over the entire Gulf Coast. Well, there were articles back then that 40 million gallons were sprayed in just a few days. But the official spraying of Corexit on the Gulf of Mexico was 2 million gallons. However, moving past that, what Exxon knew to be the truth at the time was that the mixture, because they have billions of dollars worth of chemical lab technicians doing research, they knew that the combination of Corexit and crude oil would be something more caustic, more carcinogenic, more cancer-causing by a factor of 20 times plus than just crude oil in the water. They knew that before they sprayed even one drop of it. They knew how to shut off the wellhead at the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico hours before it happened. They knew how to do it. The eventual soaring of the pipe and putting a new well cap on it, I know that none of you will believe me, but I described it in a video how to do that exactly before they did it. I sent that video out to every newspaper and every scientist and every regulatory commission, including the Coast Guard in the United States. I sent them a video on how to shut off that pipe long before they did it. And eventually they came to a similar solution, almost identical. The only thing that was just a little bit different was the way I was going to insert the shutoff valve into the pipe and how I was going to clamp it onto the existing pipe. Everything else, 95% of it was the same. And yet they didn't take my advice, or they did, and they waited 80 days to do what I told them to do just a few days afterwards. It's not complicated. The technology existed. They had it in their stores. They just chose not to use it. Do you think that a machine that looks a little bit like a chainsaw and bolts on a piece of pipe and cuts steel, do you think that's a new technology? They've had that for 50 years. Do you think that setting an open valve over an existing flowing pipe is that difficult? Really? It's not. They know how to do it. I sent them the exact way they did it just a few days after it happened, but I never got a response, because the response is the fact that they weren't going to fix it. They were going to make it worse as an experiment, just like Fukushima and Ronald Reagan and the captain of the USS Ronald Reagan shutting off the radiation detectors and allowing all of his crew to be radiated, and eventually 1,700 people to be filing a massive lawsuit against the United States government. Well, I recently read that nothing has been done about that publicly, just like Fukushima, when Obama said it would be fixed in a few weeks. So Trump is doing the same thing with this Operation Warp Speed. By the way, during the whole course of the lockdown, I just want to make you guys aware, you people, you fucking useless eaters, that during the entire course of the lockdown, hundreds of airplanes coming into America with 5G network transmitters and Chinese technicians have come into America and placed 5G technology all over the place. That's one of the reasons they did the lockdown. Another reason they did the lockdown is to destroy the economy of the middle class. You don't get it. You don't understand what the big picture is. You're not understanding that their goal, and I say their goal, something that goes far beyond that of most people's understanding, their goal is to destroy the economy, not of just America, but the world. Now, you have proof of this with the Emmy Award that Cuomo received last week from the powers that be. And if you listen, which none of you useless eaters, according to Henry Kissinger, have listened to, if you listen to Cuomo's speech, and I think I will post the link for that. Let me put him, I'm going to put Mr. Obama down. Put me down, Mr. Fazio. See, he knows. He calls me Mr. Fazio. Otherwise, he free falls into place. Obama, I finally taught Obama how to talk to me. Oh, yeah, one more thing about Obama. Remember Mr. Obama? Let me tell you a little factoid about Mr. Obama. See this little flashlight I have here? This is a puppet. Used to be a talking doll till I took him scuba diving. That didn't work out for his electronic voice so much. But this rocket launch, this little flashlight is actually a rocket launcher. You can see it has a barrel, and at the end, rockets come out of the end of the barrel. So let me give you a little factoid. You could look this up for the useless eaters. Thank you, Scott. I should thank you personally for something else you did yesterday, but I'll save that for a private conversation. But I did see what you did, and I appreciate that. Although it wasn't necessary, I thank you for it. This is a rocket launcher that Obama had, and you can know it's Mr. Obama because you could see as the presidential seal on his shirt. And Obama is responsible for actually not draining the swamp, but using every available bomb left over from World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War on the brown people in Southeast Asia. Obama dropped more bombs than Bush and Cheney by probably double on every year of his presidency until he ran out of bombs. There was actually no bombs left from the Korean War that were usable to drop on the so-called terrorists, the so-called people that blew up the World Trade Center, when in fact all of those people were worked for the United States government. The heads of that entire operation, Cheney, Bush, Rumsfeld, they were the people that were behind the operation. They were the people that lied to you. And, oh my God, we have to go into one more topic matter. The great Scott Del Fuego, he's wordsmithing 1 minute. Giuliani, President Trump's A-team, the dream team, which if you'll notice, not that you did notice, Trump is distancing himself from that woman lawyer who's representing Michael Flynn. Well, that woman lawyer, Sidney Powell, she's just another piece of garbage with arms and legs. Besides the fact that she was the prosecuting attorney or the attorney general for the United States and prosecuted people for crimes, Sidney Powell is the most corrupt woman on that team except for Giuliani. And that you don't understand why, because you people are too fucking stupid to read about Sidney Powell's history. Sidney Powell represented Enron, the Enron oil scandal back in the 1990s and the early 2000s, where Enron built up its stock to be worth $91 per share and then collapsed its stock to be worth less than $1. Then they were sued by millions of people worldwide, corporations and businesses and private entities. And Sidney Powell represented Enron in a lawsuit that which they eventually paid $40 billion in fines, but not before they made several $100 billion in profits off the devalued stock by selling their stock early. That piece of garbage with arms and legs. And that's the reason Trump is distancing himself from Sidney Powell. But more than that, Giuliani, he covered up the greatest murder of the American citizens that ever existed in all of time. Giuliani was part of the cover-up by removing the debris from the buildings during September of 2001 without any remorse and without any repercussions. That piece of garbage, where is he? Let's get that piece of garbage out. Where are you, Trump? Where are you? That piece of garbage that with arms and legs who sets upon the DOD, baby. That Trumpster, the piece of garbage with arms and legs, has now tapped Giuliani's shoulder to be on his defense, at the head of his defense, when what Giuliani should be noted for is covering up the thermite in the debris of the World Trade Center during 2001. And yet you don't hear anything about that. So let's go to the great Scott Del Fuego. Let's see where I'm going to move right up to the top. See, I don't want to miss a single episode of the Scott Del Fuego wordsmithing. I tried to explain to you people that you're not going to break my concentration, but you're welcome to post links that are truth. Well, you're welcome to post the titles of videos that are truthful. And as far as Pedro saying, let the woman speak, that is not a woman, Pedro. That is one of the world's greatest trolls. So and I will tell you something else. Let's just talk about trolls. Let's talk about wrenches. Let's talk about Go Bobo Sister. We're going to talk about Passport TV and his most egregious video uploads. God almighty, that guy is fucking evil. We're going to talk about getting censored on other people's channels. So Pedro, where Pedro said, let the woman speak, he's probably talking about that so-called woman. It's not a woman, Pedro. It's a guy. And he's the world's greatest victim. He's the world's greatest victim. And that's who I think it is, because he hides behind the keyboard as a fake account. But to get in regards to Scott removing the comment by a troll, basically, whoever that woman is, she's a troll, whether it's a man or a woman, whether it's a victim of circumstance, whether it's a fucking coward hiding behind its keyboard, whatever it is. If one of my wrenches, and that includes all my wrenches, that includes Princess Anne, LaRue Seagrass, Scott Del Fuego, Dennis Adam, Blue Rose, Flying Circus, Pennsylvania Trucker. If they remove a comment, it stays removed. It's their option. Now, if I think that they're not aware of a particular, maybe a comedy skit that's going on in the background or something like that, and that it's not really a negative comment that just flows with something else that's going on, then I will make them aware of it and ask them to reestablish the person's ability to post. But it's up to them. I never correct my wrenches. And a good example of that is Roberto, the brown American expat, Obet, the brown American expat, Roberto Dunn. He put on a fantastic show the other day. And I went to Roberto's show and I posted 4 just under 200 character posts. And they were removed. So either the piece of shit that removed them was Go-Go Bobo's sister, because they were not hateful, they were not spiteful, they were comedic in nature, and I was announcing Sunday's show, which had Roberto saw it, would have been perfectly okay with Roberto. Because no matter what anybody says about Roberto, he's a fair individual. Not only is he fair, but he's a lot smarter than people think he is. He's not only more smarter or smarter than most people believe, that he's a fantastic video editor. His ability to video edit is just far beyond that of most or all YouTubers. Plus, he has a vast array of videos in his video vault, like Flying Circus, another great YouTuber, another great videographer. And but more than that, you people out there that keep posting all this shit on my page after page after page of comments, I'll say it again, unless you're my personal friend, a YouTube Patreon member, or a major donator in Super Chat, you're welcome to post, but I'm just not going to refer to your comments anymore. That's reasonable, considering that you have other bloggers on here that talk about nothing but bullshit. I mean, total bullshit for 12-hour live streams. Never said a word. They don't talk about anything real. They won't make an objective statement that, that they put their foot down and say that, well, I think that this might be, and they get $100, $200 an hour in Super Chat. God bless them. Most of them are my friends. But if you people think you're going to come on here and get my attention any further, that's just not going to happen. You want my attention? Pay for it. I mean, I'm being serious. Otherwise, I'll just stick with what works for me, what's been working for me. YouTube has destroyed everybody's ability to make money, if you'll notice. Everybody's view counts are down. Everybody. However, people that were making $1,000, $700 a month last year are now making $100. And yet you people who have more time on your hands than you know what to do with want to post all this great fucking information that you think you have stored in your head so that you could get some face time on everybody's channel, but you don't want to pay for it. So it's up to you. And talking about paying for it, as that fucking guy, Passport TV, said, very fucking true, that piece of garbage. You owe me money, Passport, by the way, in case you forgot. But, Passport said, you don't have to bang a pot. I thought, I was saying to myself, here it comes. Here it fucking comes when I saw the title. And then, lo and behold, the guy went after somebody else. That fucking evil Passport TV, that sinister-minded prick who used up a lot of my valuable time to get him an introduction to one of the world's most famous people. I gave you permission to attack me in any way, shape, or form that you want using my videos. You already have that mail from years ago. And yet Passport chooses not to attack me, but to use one of the most famous sayings on YouTube: bang a pot, make a lot. I thought that was fucking mostly terribly fucking wrong. That video by Passport TV. I'm telling, don't anybody go. Don't you ever go to Passport TV's channel. Ever. Don't ever watch his fucking videos. His fucking videos are bad. They're fucking mean. They're just downright ornery. Don't go to Passport TV's channel. Plus, he's very, very disrespectful. And he owes me $300 at a minimum. And that fucking money that you owe me for my time to get you an introduction to one of the world's most famous people is accruing interest. Accruing interest. And it could change on any given day. I make up the interest rates on my channel. So now let's go to the great Scott Del Fuego. And being that Passport TV is such an egregious blogger, such an evil son of a gun, such a guy that just is relentless, causing people mental disturbances beyond that of mortal men. Passport TV, I might just change one of the letters in your name. And that would be fucking fitting. That would be fitting. You guess which letter. If you can guess which letter, I will allow you to super chat me $100 towards the money that you owe me for the time I spent to make arrangements for you to meet one of the world's most famous. And not only was it one of the world's most famous people, but it was one of Passport TV's heroes, which will never happen now. Unless, of course, he sends me that $300 plus fucking interest. Or I might just have to change your name. And I can do that too. Because this is my fucking channel. And on my channel, the fact that you said bang a pot, you should be paying me gratuities for that. I should be getting residuals for banging a pot. But Passport, nope. As much as Passport TV has the egregious videos, the hateful, the spiteful fucking videos on YouTube, and uses my intellectual property. I banged a pot. I made a lot. Until Passport recognizes that he owes me the $300 plus interest, I am going to talk bad Passport TV. Bad Passport. You're a bad Passport TV. Great Scott Del Fuego. We did bang a pot. More than just entertainment, says Scott Del Fuego. More than just the construction knowledge. More even than the preview of the unknown. Can't you people see Michael is trying to save you from pure evil? Thank you, Scott. No, they can't, because their brains, and now I'm convinced that their brains have been coddled to where they can't focus for more than just a few minutes. I'll give you an article. I will give you an article. Just wait. I will give you an article. Just wait. You people are so fucking stupid. You won't review my video later on, and you won't click on the links I give you. I can give you article after article after article after article after article of every major power politician and religious leader. From the WHO, the World Health Organization, to the Club of Rome, to the Vatican, to the Rockefeller Foundation, to the banksters. I could give you 100 articles. They're all out there. That this great reset is going to happen. And the reset is not, it's fucking not to help the middle class. It's to destroy the middle class. this bullshit that it's going to fix poverty. It's one of those reverse bullshit lies, what are called 1984 speech. It's going to cure poverty. It's going to make everybody equally fucking poor. Let me go see. I'm just reviewing only my wrenches comments. The power of the blue. Oh my God! Dennis Adams enters the wordsmith reality of YouTube. Dennis Adams is now a minor wordsmither. Let's give big smiles to the Dennis Adams channel. Oh my God. I feel like a Zen Buddhist guy. Dennis Adams, please post the link to your channel. So Dennis Adams, and a lot of you people should be paying more attention to Dennis Adams' uploads. Dennis Adam has a channel where he describes to you in detail how to use a coal stove instead of electric or fuel oil. I suggest you people that can put a coal stove in your house. I strongly suggest that you do that. And coal stoves also burn wood. I am telling you that they are about ready to limit the amount of food and fuel and water that you are going to be able to buy worldwide. It's already happening in some places of the flat earth. They have already limited what you can buy in as far as goods in a supermarket or a Walmart in some places. People are just too fucking stupid to do some research. You're not allowed to buy anything in certain places that's not a necessity for life, like milk and eggs, bread, rice, flour. That's okay, but soda and potato chips is probably fucking one of the things they're pushing hardest. The most profit, the biggest corporations make the most profit. Do you know that 20 million pounds of potatoes were scrapped about a week ago? 20 million pounds of potatoes were scrapped about a week or so ago because the value of the potatoes went down. So they just scrapped them. They didn't use them for anything. They just discarded them, buried them. I don't know what they did with them. But 20 million pounds was taken off the market in America. While people are starving, and you don't see any of that shit. So let's go. Dennis Adams. Oh, yeah, we got a little back to Dennis Adams. So Dennis Adams, I hope you posted the link to your channel. Dennis Adams has a channel. Dennis, you still haven't taken my advice, by the way. And that's up to you. I saved you 20% on heating costs. But Dennis. One day I got to get you on the phone and explain how to save more money with that heating system you have. But you said you had one, but I don't see it. It's a box that it's a radiator box that sucks the heat out of the pipe. I don't see that. And it's got an electric motor in it. I don't see that on your flue pipe, although you said you had one. Maybe it's in another place. So even though Dennis Adams is attempting wordsmithing and knows about coal stoves, Dennis Adams still needs to pay a little bit more attention to the advice from Michael Fazio. That radiation system that sucks the heat out of the flue pipe puts 20%, 30% more heat into your basement or house. But as they say, the old adage is, you can lead a Dennis Adams to water, but you can't make him drink or think. Because 3 times, once I said use OSFO to put on the rust, you found a different product. Okay, you live in Pennsylvania. Once I said use Nutbuster, and you used some other product which is similar. Dennis Adam has a really bad habit of taking half of what I say and then finding an alternative. I don't know why he does that. So he's now attempting wordsmithing on a minor level. Let's give him a big smile. And I will add that I don't know that. Here's what I know. Osfo that I told you to put on the rust does the same thing the treatment that you put on the rust does. So they're the same thing. The Nutbuster, which you are really screwing up the way you put that stuff on the metal. I'm not being facetious. Nutbuster does the same thing that the stuff that you ordered online does. But you, by spraying that crap on the metal and then painting over the metal, you just don't get it. I keep telling you that that stuff is bad for you to breathe in. That is probably the most caustic chemical sold on commercial shelves, what you're using and what Nutbuster is. Go ahead and spray it on your hands and leave it on your hands for about 10 minutes. See what happens. Not only does it break down rust, but Nutbuster is similar to core exit. It moves into the human genome on a molecular basis and breaks it down. It'll turn your hands into a slimy. It'll turn your hands into slime. Then give it another spritzer on your hands. Well, just open up the can and pour it into a glass of water and stick your fingers in there. See what happens after a few hours or an hour. You'll take your fingers out of the can and you'll go like this and there'll be nothing but bones left. Go ahead and do it. It's no different than Nutbuster is the stuff that you use. But that shit, not only does it eat up rust, Nutbuster, but it's the most caustic, most carcinogenic chemical that exists on an automotive parts shelf. And you just sit there and breathe it in. Dennis, bad, Dennis, bad. You need to pay more attention to the Fazio. So, Scato Fuego, you people need to think. You blindly follow the New World Order and politicians, bleeding impotently as you accept your crumbs. Yeah, baby, bleeding. Pink Floyd said bleeding. Bleeding and babbling as you silently follow the leader down well-trodden corridors into the valley of steel death. Those were the words, I think. You people need to think blindly. You follow the New World Order and politician blasting, bleeding, and impotently as you accept your crumbs. Study, learn, and fight the fight Michael lays out for you. Can't you? People accept his leadership and follow his path to the truth? Thank you, Scott. You're just not getting it. So here, I'm going to post a link. First, I'm going to read my wrench's comments. Then I'm going to post a link to prove to you that you are about ready with Trump's warp speed, which is in the title of this video. They are about ready to wipe the population numbers down to a small percentage of what they are. Now, when I say about ready, it's happening now. It's been happening, but their ways have been slow. But leading up to this, radiation is destroying people and giving them cancer. Therefore, the bigs make money with radiotherapy. chemotherapy and pills to cure cancer, when pretty much, in all reality, what I think is that cancer was cured back in the 1960s. It's just a fucking virus. There was a machine, I forgot the name of the machine. It works on frequency resonates on a certain frequency, and you choose the frequency vibration of the cancer cells in a victim's body. And supposedly, it cured 19 out of 20 cancer patients within 6 months. So they know that method works, but I think they've cured it on other levels also. So they don't want you to be cured. This is part of the plan, but radiation is destroying me too, by the way, me too. It's destroying my sperm count, and I take that personal. I mean, not that it's so important. That's not the most important thing in my life, because I had super sperm when I was young. So now my sperm is just reduced to that of mortal men. But other people who start off with weak sperm, those people are in jeopardy of not being able to have children. And I feel very sorry for them. But what we should do is find somebody, find somebody that will volunteer to be a sperm checker. In fact, there's a lot of sperm checkers in Congress and the Senate. You got to hear some of these speeches from the congressmen and the senators about their husbands. That makes me laugh. Anyway, let me get back to my commenters. Scott Del Fuego, message retracted. The left stole an election by using the pandemic to remove any voting as safeguards, conspiring with foreign actors in Venezuela to move votes from Trump to China Joe. That's true. Dennis Adam posting the link to his channel. Thank you. Scott Del Fuego hit the nail on the head, says Dennis Adam. Dennis Adam comment from Scott Del Fuego. Dennis Adams is Pennsylvania Dutch. Now, I could tell you that I worked with some Dutch men, Norwegians, to be more specific. And all my life, I heard dad, because a lot of the marine construction workers, deckhands, barge workers, people that worked on dredges and dump scows, and a lot of boat captains, famous to be Norwegian and Swiss. And Dad called them squareheads because their heads are this fucking big. I got to tell you, the one that comes to mind, his name was right on the tip of my tongue. He was a squarehead, as Dad called him, and one of Dad's best friends. I have a picture of my dad in one of my dad's tugboats when my dad was operating a tugboat building the Verrazano Bridge. And this fella, he was huge. My dad was not a small man, but this guy was 6'6", 6'7". Digger Odell, Digger, Digger Odell. That was the guy's name. He was standing next to my dad. Digger Odell he would order a dozen hard-boiled eggs, and that was before breakfast. Several orders of toast and several breakfasts at 4 o'clock in the morning. But anyway, he would say that you can't get anything inside a squarehead because their heads are this big, like 1 foot square, and the thickness of their skull is like 4.5 inches on each side. And in the middle was mostly empty except for a little brown seed, and that seed was full of shit. And you couldn't get a thought into a squarehead's brain. But they were hardworking, honest men. And they were the men that built America, the men that built the Verrazano Bridge, the men that built the tunnels and the anything below water grade in America with other people, but mostly back then, German, Italian, Norwegian, Swedish, and Irish. They were the builders of America. Now you got this bullshit, this absolute total bullshit with these millennials who will not do any physical work. So where do the buildings come from that get built? They come from foreigners that Trump brings into the country, that Clinton brought into the country, that Bush brought into the country, that Johnson brought into the country in 1965. He created some sort of act that brought more immigrants into America from foreign countries legally and made them legal citizens than any other import of citizens into America. And Kennedy, for 50 years, backed up that plan to destroy the American working middle class. And now we have foreigners building our skyscrapers and structures, except for the bridges. That's still mostly men of Indian descent, Indian being American Indian. For some reason, they don't mind walking steel. But you people are stone stupid. So let me get back. I want to give you the link for the Great Reset in a minute. China is Joe's handlers. China, Joe's handlers, plotting the finish of Sambama, destruction of the USA, while addle-brained, mentally deficient Biden gracefully imagines the money to be stolen as president. Yep. Mr. Willis. There's a man who I have communicated with directly multiple times. Always had a pleasant conversation with Mr. Willis, a very long-term member of my Patreon community and a very well-mannered man when I speak with him, who had intentions of moving to the Philippines even so much as a year ago, and his intentions were thwarted by this so-called fucking worldwide economic global shutdown. He destroyed the plans, he being Trump. He destroyed the plans of Warren, my friend. He destroyed the plans of Mr. Willis. He destroyed the so-called plans of so many other bloggers that have nothing to really offer in regards to the Philippines, other than perhaps some monetary inspiration into the economy, but actually don't have any brain cells to actually go out and do blogs about the Philippines or walkabouts. There are so many people out there that just don't have the ability to do a fucking thing. And you hear the blah, 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 the blah, 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 the blah, blah, blah from these so-called bloggers. I am a blogger. I'm a true fucking blogger. I blog about the Philippines, whilst I post 14 videos a day about a criminal, and never mention any of the walkabouts I did the last week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks of the wonderful restaurants on my island. Whereas Fazio puts multiple videos of the restaurants and walkabouts that he does on my Patreon account, because that's where they belong. That's what makes me some money. That's what compensates me for my time. That's what people become part of to watch the real life videos of Michael Fazio. Short of that, then you get basically mundane videos on YouTube, because YouTube has taken away everything but my monetization. My AdSense is 1/100th of what it was 10 years ago. My super chat, because of the economy, has gone down to about 25% of what it was a year ago. And you think that I'm going to sit here and read every fucking comment in my comment section for people that do nothing for me financially or economically? It's just not going to happen. I don't care that you leave the comments, and I want to give you a platform to do so. But don't expect me to spend any time on any specific comment unless I have your fucking telephone number and I can call you up and then see your face on Skype. You cannot even become a member of my Patreon account. I have rejected more Patreon members in the last 2 weeks than I have allowed to come on to my Patreon account. As a private account, I have that ability. So I won't say how many people tried to become a member of my Patreon account, at which point I just send out a mail. You have 3 hours, 4 hours, you have 5 hours to respond to me with a telephone number and or a Skype address. At which point, if you don't respond, where I can talk to you directly, see your face and hear your voice, I will block you from becoming a member of my Patreon account. In addition to those new rules on my Patreon account, if you try to come in as a member for under $10, I won't allow that at all. I immediately block anybody who tries to come on for less than $10 a month, because it takes time for me to read your comments, and typically people will want to talk right away on the phone, and that's just not going to happen. So the new rules on Patreon remain the same, except for somebody like Mr. Willis. If he was to reduce or eliminate his Patreon pledge altogether, I would still be friends with Mr. Willis on Skype, because Mr. Willis is a well-meaning, well-educated, and intellectual man, and I have enjoyed his conversations. So it's not about the money, but if you try to become my friend on Patreon for under $10, your account will be immediately ejected, which means I block you. And if you try to become a member at $10 or above, you have just a short period of time or window of opportunity to give me your personal information, which is your address and your Skype, so I can call you on Skype so I know who you are. You have a short window. Brevity. Brevity is the all-important word here. Just hours. And then if I don't hear back from you, there won't be a second request. I'll just shit can you from my site. Then at that point, you could set up a new Gmail account or Yahoo account, whatever you want to use, and you could try again, but it's not going to work. So I suggest you pieces of human fecal tissue with arms and legs, like that woman that was trying to get on my site before that Scott Del Fuego blocked. I'm pretty sure under a different name, that piece of shit, or if it was a woman, tried to come on to my Patreon account, and within hours I blocked that piece of shit, if it was a woman, new member on my Patreon account. And within fucking hours of that, I heard all kinds of fucking stories. Who the fuck does he think he is, blocking people on his Patreon account that you have to become a member of fucking for at least $10? Well, fuck, it's my Patreon account. I pay the fees for the Patreon account. I took the time to put the Patreon account on. I pay the legal taxes in both the Philippines and America for my Patreon account. If you think that I'm going to have somebody come on my Patreon account from this day forward for $1 and want to talk to me for an hour, and you think that my fucking time is worth $1 an hour, you are sadly mistaken. So I will not further allow people to come on at such a small amount. You people pay for everything else. And I don't see any reward for me to take the time to talk to somebody for 1 or 2 hours a month for $1. If you want to do that, fucking go ahead. You people on YouTube, all you people posting, I don't see anybody helping me financially. I don't see a one of you fucking people paying for the drives, paying. Now, I do have $3,000 in a bank account for my new computer, and I am taking $1,000 out of my personal account to make up the difference for an Asus i9 15-inch computer, but I can't get one. And yet I have to hear the fucking useless eaters, the trolls of YouTube saying, "You never bought a..." You don't hear even one, not one of the fucking people that donated, not one of the people that donated money to my computer fund, not one has ever asked me for proof. Because at which point that I have the money in the bank, because at which point I will Skype you and show you the fucking bank book. It's not a problem. I will show you the transactions. I will show you my that the money has never been touched for X amount of months. So it's only the fucking trolls on YouTube, the worthless or useless eaters of the world, that are questioning whether the money is in their bank account. But the truth is, and here's the truth again for that scumbag community out there, the scumbags who choose to be trolls on YouTube, the company in the ICM wall that I ordered the computer for, again, I will reiterate this, again, I will wager you $10,000 fucking dollars to you scumbags, I will wager you $10,000 that what I say is true. I'll go interview the manager of the fucking store. I have no problem with that. And actually, she doesn't have a problem with that either. I just don't want to embarrass her or her store. Because in March, she asked me for a 100,000 peso deposit for the computer. Here's the computer story again. For you fucking scumbags out there that can't get it through your fucking heads, that the truth is that there has been 0 shipments from Manila to Cebu and 0 shipments from Cebu to Bohol in regards to computers for the computer that I want. And no matter what you do, Lazada is not an option. Lazada is not a guarantee that that computer is coming to your house and you pay for it 100% up front. Lazada gives you no guarantee of delivery other than it will be delivered to your address, and anybody on the ground, when the driver comes up with the box, can sign for it and disappear into the forest. So fuck that. Going to Cebu was even a possibility 3 weeks ago, and by the time I organized the truth from some bullshit store named the Octagon in the Ayala Mall, which they said, "We have that computer in stock, come and give us a deposit." And I said, "You get that person in Manila on the phone and you tell them to give you the serial number while I'm on the phone with you, and I'll look at the serial number of the computer and backtrack it to see where that computer, what year the computer was made and what it is." And they couldn't do that because when they said, "Call us back," then the fucking truth came out. The fucking truth about buying that computer, the Asus i9, is for these fucking scumbags that keep saying I took people's money and didn't use it for what it was used for. Those people are scumbags. Those people are truly scumbags, the scumbags of the community. Not a single person that sent me money has asked for proof that I still have their money. And they can if they wish to. But anyway, the scumbags at the computer stores in Cebu, more specifically the Octagon, said, come and see us, bring us 100,000 pesos, which I have a bank in the area of Ayala. I can just go to the bank in Ayala. It's right on the corner, very close. Okay, so a branch of my bank. So I said, okay, prove to me you have the computer. So I call back 3 hours later, 3 o'clock. And they don't have the fucking computer. The computer is supposed to be in stock from the guy in Manila. And the guy in Manila could take 4 to 6 weeks to get it. And it may or may not work. And now nobody will know if it works until I give them 100,000 pesos and I wait 4 to 6 weeks from Manila, but 4 to 6 weeks from China to Manila, which is 12 fucking weeks. And I give them 100,000 pesos. In today's world, to give us company $2,000 in advance with a 4 to 6 week window when it didn't happen anyway. The store, once I said, guarantee me the computer in 3 weeks, they said, we can't do that. I said, but you just told me to come there and give you money. What if I did that? Sir, we're sorry. They don't fucking know anything about what the exact time that a shipment's going to be made here. But the scumbags on YouTube, they hear the scumbags every fucking day. The scumbags lying to their public, lying to their subscribers, lying. And then when I put out a $10,000 challenge, the scumbags crawl into some fucking shell under a fucking rock. Scared little motherfuckers that they are. In fact, they're so scared that I'm doing a show on Sunday. And on Sunday, you can bet your fucking ass I will be selling diapers, blue diapers and Huggy diapers. For those of you who have been threatened by the scumbags on YouTube and a special live stream fundraiser for a certain blogger that's running from the law to help him with his legal bills. Now, I don't know how that fundraiser will work out, but I will tell you that if the time comes where that becomes necessary, I expect people to at least have a laugh, if nothing else, of the whole thing. Because what we have here is an opportunity to see how much of a fucking coward, how afraid a fucking gentle person that's on the run, a very gentlemanly like person that's on the run from the law, how much fear he has put into the fucking hearts of YouTubers. And for that, we will do a special fundraiser where we will have discounted Huggy diapers, Huggies, little Huggies right there, Huggies, and lesser quality diapers for those people who have been pissing in their pants, pee-pee in their panties, and maybe a little bit more solid excrement in their pants. The bloggers on YouTube have scared them into fucking frenzies of fear, undetermined amounts of fear. So much fear that they have to project their fucking manhood. They have to say, come on, baby, come on, baby. When in reality, they're showing their inadequacies and the fear of a fucking gentleman blogger like the man on the run. The man on the run, he is in deep shit, no doubt about that. But that man on the run has put more fear into the hearts of certain people than can be accommodated. I didn't think there was that much fucking cowardness or fear that a gentleman man on the run from the law could put into the hearts of bloggers. I just didn't think that was fucking possible until I saw more fucking lights than are on the fucking White House. And you all know what I'm talking about. There's more fucking lights protecting certain people than there are on the fucking White House. And then, come on! Don't do it. I think you're being set up, gentleman blogger. I think you're being set up. So, let's get back. I was going to post I'm going to post a link. You guys can take it, stick it where the sun doesn't shine. Oh, but to digress back to the diapers. This blue diaper, these Huggies, which are going to be, they're going to be pre-ordered. The Huggies, stop. I can't believe this. Stop. Shut up. Prince Charles, shut the fuck up. These Huggies are going to be, again, this fucking thing goes on. These Huggies are going to be sold pre-ordered. So you'll have to give me $25 per Huggie for one diaper. But that doesn't include the $60 for shipping. Or you could just send me a $25 donation and have a magic diaper. A magic diaper for those in fear of their life, in fear of pissing in their pants, in fear of the world-renowned blogger who hasn't blogged in fucking 3 months about anything where he lived, but he still hasn't blogged. Now, I do remember a fucking story that not me, him, aka those fucking people. We're going to start blogging my island. Not my island, their island. His island, her island. We're going to start. That was 3 months ago. And they started off with a fucking bang. They started off with a fucking drop-dead fucking Hiroshima-type blast on their island. They started off doing restaurant reviews. And it was fucking kicking ass. These reviews were kicked so much so that I went out and started doing restaurant reviews. I wanted to be like them guys. I saw the fucking profit in making restaurant reviews. Unfortunately, I kept up my restaurant reviews, but they did not. And they went back selling fear-mongering amongst the YouTube community. So, thus we have, take the bippy out of the little boy's mouth there. We have Huggies for $25 per in advance, but you'll never see an actual Huggie. I'll just be fucking you for your super chat because I don't even get that much. And you'll be getting this blue diaper, which I pay 25 pesos per piece for a 24 by 36 inch piece. So it cost me about 1 peso per square inch. No, I mean, 10 pesos. No. 1/10 of a peso per square inch. I'll be selling this for $10 a square inch. And you could see it's got white stuff in there. It's absorbent. You're never going to see any of this shit either. I'm just going to take your money, but I want you to basically, I'll be selling something that has no value for big value. And that's what I do best. It's what I do best. It's what I like to do. It's what my subscribers come to my channel for. They come to give me money for shit that's not worth anything. And that's what they are. They are givers, as opposed to the guy who's selling diapers. That would be me. I'm giving you nothing for your money, and you can give me money for nothing. It kind of sounds like a song. Money for nothing. Yeah, that's me. Yay. So I'm going to give you a fucking a hard, cold fact reality. I'm going to give you 2 videos And then I'll go back to reading the comments. Let me give you a hard, stone cold fact about this great reset, and that Prince Charles, before the WHO, before the United Nations, before the world, perfectly and unequivocally said that the Great Reset is going to happen. It's a reality. Not only did Prince Charles say it, I want to ask everybody to stop posting between now and the time I get the second link up. Anything between this moment and the time I get the second link up, the comment will be deleted and you can repost that comment. So I'm going to post this link twice, and then I'm going to tell you to stop posting until I get you the second link, which proves that this link is true. But this link, which I'm going to post, I'm going to copy right now. This link here is Prince Charles is now selling his eco-fascist fantasy of the Great Reset. And this is the news anchor that's talking about Prince Charles. And here in the video, right about here, is Prince Charles himself. Let's kill the sound. It doesn't have closed caption. Here is Prince Charles talking about the opportunity has a short window to create the Great Reset, and then it's going to pass us by, and that all people, all leaders of the world have to get on board with the Great Reset, which is basically to destroy the economy in America and Great Britain. So let me go to my comments here. Here is the first article. Hold on a second. I got to do something. Here is the first article. You guys got to stop posting. If I don't see my 6 posts in a row, I am going to delete. I am going to delete it. Money for nothing and your chicks for free. That's right. In fact, MTV. In fact, one of the most, if you think that Sammy the Bull Gravano was a hired assassin for the Gambino crime family, or the most important hired assassin for the Gambino crime family, that's more bullshit. I gotta tell you that. There's a guy out there, and I used to build houses for that guy. That was later on, years later, after I stopped working for him, I found out who he was. He made fucking Sammy the Bull Gravano look like a fucking child when it came to that kind of work. I'm not kidding you. So Justin Trudeau is the second link I'm going to post here. And that guy, the reason I mention that guy is because I was building a staircase in his house. And so this, I'm not going to give you the name of his channel, but I'm going to give you the idea that he's pushing here. The truth. Trudeau calls the Great Reset a conspiracy theory, despite previously advocating that conspiracy theory. So what did Trudeau do? So let me copy this down for you. Trudeau in September posted a video. Oh, I forgot to get the other link. Hold on. Do not post. Please do not post. Trudeau in September said that we must, at this time, use the pandemic, the virus, and all that's attached to the worldwide and global shutdown. We must use that to our advantage to create an opportunity to cause the Great Reset, which I told you is not going to build up the economy of the middle class, but to destroy the middle class economy and make it equal to that of the poor, thus destroying poverty, because everybody will be fucking poor. And that's the Great Reset, the concept behind the Great Reset. So now I'm not going to give you the link for the Great Reset itself, but I am going to give you the link for this article to show you how Justin Trudeau and Prince Charles have both demanded that the Great Reset take place. But these are only just two of 100. Of 100. Every single member of the United Nations speech, which took place 5 weeks ago, and the G20 summit meeting, every member of the G20 summit meeting is in full agreement that now is their time, their opportunity to reset the global economy. And you people are that fucking stupid that you still think Trump is going to help you. So now we're going to go on a fucking dump Trump and dump Biden and dump every one of these motherfuckers in Congress and the Senate and in political seats of power. You people are this fucking stupid that you believe that Trump is going to save your asses. He's not. If Trump had any fucking intention whatsoever of saving anybody, Trump basically fucked everybody by saying that you have a 3-month waiving mortgages for 3 months. What Trump did was destroy more people home ownership than Obama could ever hope to. That piece of shit Congress, that piece of shit Senate, and that piece of fucking garbage with arms and legs said to the American people, we're gonna waive 3 months mortgage to help the economy. And on the 4th month, he's gonna steal your fucking house back, you dumb bastards. On the 4th month, the loan becomes not a loan anymore, but it becomes a debt for 4 months mortgages. Where the fuck is anybody going to come up with 4 months mortgages? But more than that, if fucking Trump wanted to salvage the housing industry and the mortgage bubble and the car bubble for mortgages, he would say, if he had any fucking intention at all of helping you dumb motherfuckers, he would say, all mortgage debt, all insurances, all insurance payments, all credit card debt, all will be non-necessary to pay. All mortgage debt. No, you don't have to pay mortgage debt. No, you don't have to pay your credit card. No, you don't, until this fucking pandemic is over. So what he did was let you build up 3 months worth of bills for your mortgage, and on the 4th month calls for a full payment in full. That's going to take away more homes than anything Obama ever did. You'll see. I'm right. I'm right about this. He should have said all credit cards, all personal debt, all mortgages and all insurances, all mortgages for cars, boats, and airplanes are put on hold. And then what will happen with that debt is it'll be put on the end of the mortgage. So if you had a 30-year mortgage and you had 1 year you didn't pay mortgage, it goes to the end of the mortgage. It doesn't become due on the 90th day. So 3 months of non-payment of mortgages, and you dumb motherfuckers stop paying your mortgage, figured that it was going to come back, the economy, and it never did. Well, I told you it wasn't coming back. What part of that did you not get? I told you it was never going to get better. I told you this, and yet you don't believe me. So what Trump did by saying, he made the fucking rich richer, you dumb bastards. You people took your mortgage payments for your house and you paid off your credit card and your bank loans for your cars and your boats and your airplanes. And now your fucking mortgage for your house is due, and he takes away the ownership of the most valuable thing that a person can have, a house. And you dumb bastards fell for it. You people are dumber than dog shit. Okay, so we're going to go back to my wrenches comments only. Mr. Willis. You know, I just had an olive about 3 days ago, Mr. Willis. I'm going to read that in a minute. Scott says, it snowed here. I need a good Dennis Adam coal stove stream to warm up. That's right, baby. Dennis Adam, the man who takes my advice and twists it into some reality using different products, but still has not got a radiator for his flue pipe. I have watched your Trump election fraud streams, says Mr. Willis. And the Great Reset, 21, very interesting and scary. Also, I believe all of what you say and know it's about Agenda 21. Oh, it is. It's getting worse by the day. It's to the point now where that piece of shit that runs New York State with arms and legs got an Emmy award for his award-winning fucking bullshit story of how if you love your family, you won't see them during the holidays, specifically Thanksgiving, but you have not a fucking clue how they're locking you down before Christmas. Christmas is over, thing of the past. Kwanzaa is over, thing of the past. Hanukkah is over, thing of the past. If this piece of shit in New York says the maximum allowed amount of people allowed during your Thanksgiving weekend, starting Saturday night at 10 o'clock is 10 people, because there would have been a fucking nothing revolt. Wouldn't have happened anyway. People are a bunch of fucking cowards. So this piece of shit that runs New York State, that was a power sip. That was not a fucking half a man sip. A power sip. Let me show you what a power sip is. 3 to 4 bubbles. Ready? I'll show you what a power sip. I got to teach you motherfuckers everything. Watch. That was 4 major bubbles and 7 minor bubbles. That's a power sip. Learn something new every day on my channel. I am like a progenitor of fucking knowledge. Mr. Willis says many places are shutting down here, old-timer businesses. You got those corporate chains opening branches here. What the F? Mr. Willis says, we finally got our first Olive Garden here, but that's rubbish. Pre-frozen, reheated food. We finally got our first Olive Garden here, but that's okay. Oh, you finally got your first Olive Garden. Well, congratulations. Here, but that's rubbish. Pre-frozen, reheated food. Fucking absolutely, Mr. Wills. Perfect garbage. Scott the Fuego. Here we go. Scott the Fuego is wordsmithing and being my friend, and I don't know if you were away from the phone before, but I did see what you did in a live stream yesterday, and I did not expect that. I thank you for that. It wouldn't be something it would be something I would have understood had you not done what you did, but thank you. And those pieces of shit out there, and you know who you are. You're watching, you're not watching. Who gives a fuck about? And who gives a fuck about the guy, the little coward called Wayne, W-A-N-E, Wayne Man. Wayne Man. I told you, you piece of shit, that if you wanted to come on my channel, to give me your phone number, and I want to see your face on Skype. But the Wayne Man, the W-A-I-N-E, the Wayne Man, the piece of shit, W-A-N-E, the Wayne Man, piece of shit. He only goes to people's channels to troll people. Why the fuck do I need the Wayne Man on my channel? And that other piece of shit called the Hemorrhoid, he's worse than the Wayne Man. And the other piece of shit who says, I didn't see all those comments about Fazio and Daisy May. You are a fucking liar. You saw them, you allowed them. I gave you an opportunity to fucking have a second chance and told you, don't let certain people post shit about myself or my ex-girlfriend, Daisy May. And you did it again. And you read the fucking comment before and after the comment that you fucking lied about yesterday, saying you never saw. You will never, ever come back on my channel. If I have you blocked, you being a YouTuber, you being a commenter, you being a fucking troll, if you're on my fucking block list, you stay on my block list. I don't give a shit about second chances anymore. Rain Man, you had second chances. I gave Rain Man second chances. And what did he do? He came back in and abused me on my own fucking channel. So a person like Rain Man doesn't get a second chance. A person like Wayne Man, W-A-I-N, a total piece of shit, a total piece of fucking garbage, that doesn't do anything but fucking troll people. Why should I take the time? And the other pieces of shit that have nothing to do. Why don't you people, if you're so fucking smart and you're so intelligent, why don't you start your own channel? Why don't you just go out and start your own fucking channel? Put your face on YouTube. Make a fucking name for yourself. But no, you're a bunch of fucking losers. You're a bunch of fucking cowards. And in the same respect, some of you may have been very powerful, important people with prestigious jobs, like Pissport TV. He had a very powerful and prestigious job. But now he chooses to abuse people on fucking YouTube. So he won't show his face. Old fucking Pissport TV. That fucking guy makes the most fucking egregious fucking videos on YouTube. I am telling you, never go watch a Pissport TV video. Never. Don't ever go there. That fucking guy is just fucking mean and ugly. But if you've been blocked on my channel, you stay blocked. Been blocked, stay blocked. So, digressing back, money for nothing on your MTV. So, where am I? I'm building a staircase. Where is that? I could show you the staircase. I could show you the house. Hold on, let's see if I have time for that. Scott says, I have been a Patreon member for a long time. Very interesting and informative, as well as entertaining. Michael never pushes to increase funding. I enjoy being a part of the creation of a new hotel. And there will be a new hotel. I know that you people think that that's not a reality, but here's proof. You want fucking proof, you little bitch? Bitches? Bitchettes? You want proof that I'm going to build a hotel? Wager me $10,000. Put it in escrow. That I do not have plans, permits, Everything's signed and ready to go to build a hotel. You little bitches, bitchettes and bitchots, you little fucking cowards on YouTube who think that you have some sort of fucking ability to do research, go research that. Or wager me $10,000, put some fucking money with your coward fucking bleeding and babbling fucking useless eater lifestyle mouths are. Put some fucking money where your mouth. Have you noticed? Have you fucking noticed that I have put that challenge out, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 challenges to show you the plans for and permits for my hotel? Not only that I'm allowed to build what I have plans and permits for. Not only that, I'm allowed to do it the way I told you I'm allowed to do it. But every fucking day you get these mealy-mouthed fucking cowards. Oh, he's a liar. He's a fucking thief. He's a scammer. And everybody, how the fuck can everybody on YouTube be a liar, a scammer, and a thief? We don't force you. I can't force fucking people to give me money. I can give you the opportunity to help me with my bills, to give you information. Or I could say, fuck all of you, and just post videos to my Patreon account. I could do that too. I don't have to fucking sit here. Today it's raining. If I showed you how hard it rained, it is, now it's stopped a little bit, but if I showed you how fucking hard it was raining when I started this live stream, you'd say, well, there's nothing else to do. I have other shit to do. But if I fucking told you what it cost me to live here in the Philippines for just my camera equipment, internet, electric, and so on and so forth, maintenance, you don't want to pay for it, fine. You don't have to fucking pay for it. Don't become a member of my Patreon account. Don't send me any super chat. But your ability to have your comments read or even researched is about zero now. Because why the fuck should I spend any time promoting you, your channel, or your name? Why should I? If it doesn't profit me, and this is a business, and business is based on profit, my Patreon account is profitable. Scott said he doesn't push people to go up a level. Well, fucking Scott, it ain't much room for some people to go. And Dennis isn't even a member of my Patreon community. And Dennis receives every fucking upload that I post on Patreon. Jack Thompson is not a fucking member of my Patreon community any longer. He receives a copy of every upload I post to my Patreon because they're my friends. Mercury 3, my friend. Now, I would give people like Clark Henderson a copy of every upload that I do, and or Dr. Page High, but they don't want their fucking emails attached to my personal friends' emails. So if you think I'm going to take the time to start posting my uploads to 7 different people, 8 different people, 9 different people, every time I make a post, I have to gather the video links, put the video links in a mail, make a title, put the names of the people it's addressed to, and then send it out. And then I have to send a copy to myself, and then I have to open up that copy, the sent mail, cut out everybody else's fucking title, and then just put Dr. Clark Henderson's email in, or several others that don't want their emails flying circus. Perfect example. I would send him everything, but he doesn't want his email attached to anybody else's email, so he doesn't get my uploads. But if he said, okay, let your friends have my email address, I'd send him, and he's never given me any super chat, ever. I just like him. He's a nice man. He's an honest man. He's a fucking serious fucking vlogger. He's a serious video editor, and he has quite the sense of humor. Unlike that fucking piece of shit piss poor TV with his fucking most egregious videos. And that fucking guy had me on the edge of my seat this morning. Fucking piss poor TV had me fucking going. Why? Because I said to piss poor TV, I told him, I said to him, use my fucking videos any way you want. Abuse me. Go ahead, you piece of shit. You still owe me $300 for the time it took me to get you to introduce to the world's one of the world's most famous people and your fucking hero. I said, if you don't like what I say, use my videos against me. And what does fucking piss poor TV do? That fucking guy, that egregious, useless fucking blogger, otherwise known as a fucking mean, ornery man. What does piss poor TV do? He takes a picture of a stainless steel pot and puts it on YouTube. And then he fucking does what he does best, abuses people. He's fucking evil. Piss poor TV is a fucking evil fucking blogger. After I told him use my videos, after I said abuse me, go ahead. Fucking piss poor TV takes one small, wonderful section of my life, bang a pot, make a lot, and uses it. And then he goes and uses it to fucking be mean, nasty, and ugly to somebody else when he could have been mean, nasty, and ugly to me. He's fucking using my intellectual property rights. I want fucking money from piss poor TV. I want money. Send me your fucking money past piss poor TV. I gotta tell you, I woke up this morning at 3 o'clock and going, oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Let me go there and see how piss poor TV fucking abused me. And voila. Yamu. Nada. Zero. Nothing. Just use my fucking bang a pot, make a lot theory. God damn, man. I don't know what's wrong with you fucking people out there. You have the, like Bush said, you have the opportunity to abuse me. Go ahead and use it. And still, nothing. Instead, he abuses some worthless fucking other concept blogger. I gotta tell you, I was going, here I am, said 3 o'clock in the morning, here it goes. And nothing. I'm sitting there fucking laughing. And you mean, ugly motherfucker you are. I was laughing. How could anybody be so fucking mean? Power sip. 4 slugs, several bubbles each. Power sipping. Completely different than real men, power sip. Real men have coal stoves. Real men do what Scott Del Fuego does. Real men do what I did, and will do in the future. Real men build shit. Real men have tools. Real men are not afraid to tell the truth about the government. Real men aren't afraid to walk into their... Here, what? You want to know what a fucking real man is? Let me show you what a real man is. Michael Fazio. I wake up, and that's where I'm going today. Let me show you something, what fucking real men look like when they're pizzaless, okay? So I'm going to show you what it looks like to have no pizza, okay? Almost no pizza. And to be on the fucking threshold of being pizzaless is unimaginable to a good Italian. So let me show you what it looks like to be pizzaless, okay? Pizzaless is this fucking box. This box is empty. Empty. There's 1, I gotta wait till it warms up a little bit, otherwise it'll snap the plastic. This fucking box has one lousy fucking piece of pizza in it. When that shit happens, that means I, as a real man, have to get dressed after I do this live stream. Get dressed and go out, leave my fucking house. Imagine that. I'm going to blog. I got to get dressed, because I am dressed, but not, I'm not restaurant dressed. I got to get dressed. Fucking take a bath. I'm going to shave, because the girls there, the place is spotless. It's immaculate in La Travola and also Giuseppe's. Now, if I can get out to Giuseppe's early enough, I'm going to do a Giuseppe's Pizzeria review. If I can't, I'm going to La Travola. But I am fucking pizzaless, and that just is a disruptive fucking... Here, look at this. You think I'm fucking kidding you? Look at this. Look at this. One fucking piece of pizza. One piece of pizza. I got one fucking piece of pie in here. And last night, I had to make the decision to eat this fucking pie, save it for lunch today. Now, this is a Giuseppe special. It's got imported provolone, imported Parma ham, imported Italian olives in olive oil, imported anchovies, because even though the Philippines has abundant anchovies, they still import them from someplace else, and imported mushrooms, and all imported tomato sauce. So this fucking piece of pizza, I am basically on my last pizza. I'm on my last pizza. This is fucking terrible. But I started off on a... What I was going to say is that I am not afraid to walk out of the motherfucker. This is a real fucking man. A real man can do his fucking live stream in the morning. A real man can make his Skype phone calls. A real fucking man can call up his friends, all his friends. A real man can keep each fucking conversation between my friends separate and private. A fucking real man will get dressed and walk outside his fucking house. A real man will get dressed and walk, is not afraid, I repeat, not afraid to go into a local restaurant, introduce himself to the owner of the local restaurant, and then talk to the owner, because restaurant owners, they want to talk to you. That's their fucking job. A real man like myself, first thing I do when I walk into a restaurant, I ask for the owner. I don't order anything. I ask the waiter for his name, and then when I get the waiter's name, say his name is Wally the waiter, I say, Wally, is the owner of this business here? No, sir. Is it okay if I make a video? Yes, sir. In La Travola, the owner didn't know me from Adam, even though I had been in there before. In my last video, I said, when he walked, I knew the guy was the owner right away. First of all, he wasn't Filipino. Second of all, he was standing to the side of the money counter, the register, the ordering counter. And third, he was as Italian as they come. And as soon as he said, welcome to La Travola, I know he's the owner, not the manager. Too much power in his walk. So a real man walks up to the fucking owner of the restaurant and says, mind if I make a video? And he said to me fucking straight out, first thing he said, as long as it's not going to be a negative review. And I said, no, sir, I've been eating here before and your food is excellent. And he said, welcome to La Travola. So a real man isn't afraid to walk into a fucking restaurant or any local business, say hello to the owner, and make a video. And yet you hear these fucking people on YouTube, I'm going to start blogging. And last time I said I was going out for dinner with my friend Mai is in that video. as is the man whose name is Gigi, the owner, but it's not his real name, but his name is very long, an Italian name that's very long, so he chooses to call himself Gigi. So if you go to La Trivola, food is excellent. Pies are quite a bit. Okay, so pizza review. See, I'm not afraid to give a fucking pizza review. I gave you an honest review. If you go into La Trivola or Giuseppe's, here's the difference. And they don't give a fuck that I say this, because it's the truth. And I make it so clear that both fucking pizzerias are equally good or great compared to the other restaurants, locales, in the local locales. So, La Trivola pizza, we're going to use round numbers. What is the name? What is the name of the fucking pie? I forget the name of the pie. Let's just call the Fazio special. Okay, let's just call it a Fazio special, because why not? They should fucking name it after at least something. Anyway, so we're going to call it the Fazio special in La Trivola is 400. We're going to use round numbers. It's actually 420, and that Fazio special is cheese and anchovies. Well, we use real numbers. Fuck it. If you people can't follow the percentages, that's not my fault that your education sucks. So, La Trivola charges $4.20 for the Fazio anchovy special. They don't charge tax, and they don't charge a house tax or a service tax for their employees. So the pie you get is 420 pesos. However, it comes on a 13-inch board, but the pie is not quite 13 inches. It's about 12. So you're not getting a full 13-inch pie, but you're paying 420 pesos. And it's a delicious pie. Doesn't matter what pie you buy. The pie I showed you is not the Fazio special. I would have to look up the menu, but I'm not going to do that. So, but now if you go to the Fazio special in Giuseppe's, now it's going to start costing a little more, but the quality of the pie is identical. Different taste, different spices in the sauce. La Trivola uses fresh fresh basil agate, but it uses fresh basil agate and fresh arugula. Arugula is very hard to get in the Philippines, and the arugula is put on the pie in layers of leaves, one leaf per slice, basically. That gives it a smoking fucking flavor. That's the La Trivola pie, which is, let's just say, 10% less than 13 inches, but an excellent tasting pie, and it uses fresh basil agate and fresh arugula. It also gives you imported Italian olive oil for the table, but it gives you hot sauce, not fresh crushed red pepper. I'm sure they would give you Parmesan cheese, but they put so much Parmesan cheese on the pie that you don't need Parmesan cheese. So there's no reason to ask for it. Now, Giuseppe's gives you the Fazio special for 460 pesos per pie. So it's 10% more. However, the Giuseppe's pie comes on a 13-inch platter, wooden platter, and it's full right to the edges. So they're giving you 10% more. They're charging you 10% more. They don't use arugula, but both places use fresh Parma ham. Both places give you imported Italian olive oil. Both places are spotless clean. Both places are well lit. Both places have impeccable mannerisms for the waiters and the staff. Both places are courteous and attentive to the people that sit down in the fucking restaurant. Okay, both places equally well-mannered, equally clean, equally this, equally that. However, Giuseppe's charges 10% more, so it's $4.60, but you get 10% more pie. Now, on top of that 10%, Giuseppe's charges 10% more money for the pie, which it goes from $4.60 to another 50 pesos, which makes it $5.20 about. They put $5.20 on the receipt. So now it's $5.20. So 520 pesos is $10.40 for a 13-inch pie. However, La Travola is $4.20, which is $8.40. So it's $2 more for the Giuseppe's pie, but it's 20% more, so it's the same price. Now, doing those kind of reviews like that, can walk into any restaurant, and I'm welcome to walk into a fucking restaurant in my locale, any restaurant. But you have these other douchebags out there that say they're going to go out and do a restaurant review, and what do they say? Oh my God. They talk about the negative aspects of wherever they go. Every fucking negative thing that could be said about every place they ever ate. And now, what it appears to me, I could be wrong, they are no longer welcome to do restaurant reviews. Now, I could be wrong, but I've seen so many people going out there and say, I'm going to do restaurant review, send me super chat. Then they don't do the restaurant review, by the way. But then they don't do a review when they get there. Oh, we have pie. It's me and this guy. Now, I always tell you the truth. So if I didn't, here's how you do a restaurant review when you live there, in case you fucking idiots haven't figured this out yet. When you're doing a local restaurant review and you don't like the price, the food, or the service, just shut the fuck up and don't talk about it on YouTube. Probably not a good thing. That's my advice. See, you learned something else, though. And then what you do next time is you don't go to that restaurant and you find a different restaurant to say something positive about. Because negative restaurant reviews will always get you in the world of trouble in the Philippines. Don't do it. Don't come to the Philippines and think you're going to be fucking Siskel and Ebert of the restaurant in the Philippines. People are having enough trouble surviving. They don't need you talking shit. So when I go back to La Travola tonight, and I will be going back in about 4 hours, because then I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to talk to one of my friends, and we're either going to go together or I'll go alone. When I decide which restaurant I'm going to go to, and I am going out for dinner tonight, maybe. It doesn't rain. It's been raining a lot lately. We're in rainy season. But either way, when I decide to go out for lunch, late lunch, early dinner, if I don't like what the fuck they put on my table, I'm not going to talk shit about the shit they put on my table. What I will do, and what I did in the past, was say, hey, whoa, dude, I'm paying in another restaurant whose name I don't mention. I paid you for a 13-inch pie, and you put a 9-inch pie in my box. What is this? And I opened up the box. That's a pie, sir. Oh, no, yeah, it's a pie. And I could make it on a goddamn English muffin. It will still be a pizza pie. But it's not a 13-inch pie. That I did say. And I never went back there. But I never mentioned the name of the restaurant either. And if I did, that's his fucking problem. If you're going to slip it up the ass of your patrons, maybe somebody should mention your name. But I was nice enough to not mention the guy's name, personally his name. say that I'll never go back to a certain restaurant that is located near, and I don't give a fuck that I'll never go back there again. And nobody will ever hear me say a negative word about that restaurant, but I'll never go back there. So I might say, there's a restaurant located near X and X. There's 5 restaurants that serve the same food. But to actually pick out a fucking name of a restaurant and specifically fucking target a restaurant in your local area and think that they're going to fucking give you some kind of fucking, what do they call that? Interview of the year award? That shit ain't going to happen. That shit just ain't going to happen. Ato Fuego says, is it illegal to make moonshine in the Philippines? I don't think so. No, actually it's not, to answer your question. Everybody makes tuba, T-U-B-A, tuba. Everybody makes tuba, which is coconut wine. And as far as making spirits, there is no law whatsoever about people making tuba, which is wine. There's no law whatsoever for ingredients for street people selling food. And I don't drink alcohol, so I wouldn't know anything about people making spirits. If I see somebody outside, I'll ask him, and he would know. But no, there's no law about making moonshine or wine here, that's for sure. And not only can anybody make coconut wine, but you could sell it right off your front porch. And for that, I don't know if you need a license or not, but people do it without. You might have to have a license for a sari store, not a liquor license to sell wine. You do need a liquor license to sell alcohol in bottles. That's for sure. It's a small license. It's not hard to get either. Not for the locals. So, but to make your own, I've never heard of anybody making their own, and I've never heard of anybody getting in trouble for making their own, and I never heard of anybody selling it. So I don't know the answer. Dennis is talking truth now. I don't eat at fast food restaurants either. Last time I ate at a fast food restaurant, I could pretty much tell you the date. I could definitely tell you the date. Because it's more than 2 years ago. It was the day I bought the karaoke machine for Daisy. So that has to be 2.5 years ago. So I had one. No. I'm mistaken. In Bahal, it was the last time, 2.5 years ago. I had one burger, so-called burger. But I ate, when we went in June and July of 2019 to hire the import contractor, the customs broker, we had Jollibee. Daisy liked it a lot. I didn't like it. But, Daisy would get, she would order 2 or 3 items off the menu. I'd order a hamburger. I just don't like to eat that shit. And I won't. We would always go to J Mall and buy apples and pears or plums or something. And I would have one hamburger and an apple. But that was the last time I ate that shit. Last June, so it's going on 16 months. What is Scott Del Fuego talking about? The salad, where is he eating? know where he ate. At OG. Olive Garden. Okay. I ate at Olive Garden. I actually ate at Olive Garden. That's the one where you could have all you could eat pasta. Yeah, I think I remember eating there one time. Mr. Willis says it's very good. The breadsticks were unlimited, but not sure about the minestrone soup. Yeah, Mr. Willis is right. The chemicals in those foods. I have been reduced to basically any food outside the Philippines I can eat without worry about my feet being inflamed, but if they won't fit in the shoes. But all food in the Philippines, out of the question. Out of the question. No food can I eat except cabbage and pork. Chicken, they feed the chicken chemical-induced vitamin chicken. They feed chickens induced vitamins to growth hormones. That makes my feet swell up. I can't fit my feet in my shoes at all. They won't even go in the shoes. So Dennis talking food knowledge. Gotta like that. We do have some audience participation here talking about foods. Thank you for that. Now we're going back. My friend LaRue, the wrench, one of the newest wrenches besides Princess Anne. Scott, it was one of those few to be released from Michael's block list, possibly because Michael was not the one to block me. Scott said, I was one of the few to be released from Michael's block list, probably because Michael was not the one to block me. Yeah, we had a fucking troll on my channel. You know what? If I say, every time I talk about this guy who was supposed to be my friend, who blocked 120 plus people, when I say the word of what he did, what he was being by a certain other blogger. If I say that word, YouTube will take the video down. It will shut my video down right now. You are not allowed to use certain words on YouTube. So that guy did block Scott, I'm pretty sure. Fresh foods. The Truth Lady. See, the Truth Lady is a person I communicate with directly. Thank you for stopping by. Can't sleep, Truth Lady. Well, I won't have, after I'm done with this live stream, I have somebody that I want to talk to, but not you, not today. You are going to be like a morning talker, to talk to you in the morning. I have something, a little business thing that I'm doing with somebody, and in the near future, and that person has been out of touch for about a week. They dropped their phone, and they were in the hospital. And I really want to say hello to my friend. He should be out of the hospital now, but there's no guarantee about that. In case you're wondering who my friend is, that would be Warren Hunt. Warren Hunt went into the hospital again. What is today? The 25th. Warren went into the hospital on the 24th and had a treatment. And he had to stay in the hospital for extracurricular tests. So he said he'd be back at 1 p.m. if they were going to release him. He would be released at 11 o'clock Australian time, which would be about 2 o'clock my time. So, excuse me, if they're 3 hours, it's 1 o'clock now. It should be 4 o'clock in Australia. So he should be home, but I don't see any mail from Warren, so he may have to stay another night in the hospital. But I am going to try to say hello to Warren. Scott, I was one. Yeah, okay. All right. So if you've just come on my channel, I'm not reading everybody's comments anymore. Takes too long. Brings the live streams up to much longer than it's need be, and I just don't feel the need. You guys are welcome to post whatever you like, as long as it's truthful and not, harming somebody else by name or channel reputation. But I know that you like to post, and I like you to post. But if I read every comment, what I am at 225 now would have been, I'd be at 4 hours, and I'd still be where I am now. So unless you're a member of my Patreon community, a personal friend that I grew up with, or a contributor to my super chat, all your messages on my channel are welcome. I just won't refer to your messages. Nothing personal, but I don't no longer take in the time to read people's commentaries. In fact, if I go to your channels, what I typically find is no videos liked. And if they're all liked videos, none of mine are in the liked video section. So you don't have to like my videos, but I don't have to read your comments. I will typically find no recommended channels because you're afraid to post. You're afraid of the fucking government. You're afraid of your fucking shadows of saying that you like Michael Fazio's videos and that you subscribe and you recommend Michael Fazio's channel. So I don't have to fucking post any shit from you, or I don't have to read any comments from you. You're afraid to become a member of my Patreon account because you think I'm going to be obligated, you're going to be obligated for life, when that's not the case. But none the same, you don't recommend my channel, you don't have my like videos, you don't say, hey, world, I have 1,000 subscribers. Did you check out Michael Fazio's videos? You have nothing on your fucking pages because you're a bunch of fucking spineless cowards, afraid of the New World Order, afraid of your own fucking shadow. And what you get is what Henry Kissinger is dishing out. You people are the fucking useless eaters, no matter how tough you appear in the comments section. No matter what you say, no matter what fucking video. Oh, look at this fucking video.